Alright, welcome back to the video. Today I'm going to show you how to compile and then run a C program, and I'm going to show you how to compile and run the producer and consumer for assignment 1. So first we're going to do it in the built-in terminal in VS Code. So we have to navigate to the directory or the folder that our code is stored in. So to see where you're at, you can do ls, it just lists everything, and we can do cd to change directories. So my code is stored in the 139 folder. It's going to be CSC 139. This little character just means there's a space, because there's a space in my folder. And then once I get in that folder, it's stored in the labs. So I just do labs. And now we're pretty much here, which is just under labs. You can kind of see right here. Everything that's on the side is listed right here. So first we're going to compile this program called sample, and then we're going to run the executable. And once we run the executable, it should just print hello world. In order to do that, we can do GCC. I'm on Mac, by the way. GCC, and then the name of the program, sample.c -o, which is the output, and we'll just call it sample. And you see now I made an executable here. We can't run it through VS Code because we can't run an executable directly. So what we can do, we can do /sample. This is how you run an executable. And you see how it just prints hello world. Okay, that's cool and all, but let's actually run the assignment. So first for the assignment, we're going to see it needs 3 arguments, one for buffer size, item count, and random seed. So that's going to be important. So we have to first compile producer. So we can do GCC, the name, can't spell, producer.c -o, and we'll just call it producer, like in the instructions. So we have an executable for producer. And we're going to do the same thing for consumer. GCC consumer.c -o. -o just means output, like the output flag. And then consumer. And if we see on the side, we have 2 executables, producer and consumer. If we list everything, they're right here. So in order to run it, we could do / and then the name of the executable, which we just call producer. If I could spell it. But remember, it needs 3 arguments we have to pass in. We have to pass in buff size, item count, and then random seed. So you'll just do those right there. We'll say the buffer size, is that what it was? Buffer size we'll say is 10, item count is 20, random seed 34. And then, because the program, whenever the producer is full, it'll call the consumer. So you don't really have to call the consumer. So it does that for us. So that's how you do it in VS Code. So let's actually do it in the terminal. Let's delete the executables we just created, so we could see how we do it. It's pretty much the same thing in the terminal. I just did it using the VS Code integrated terminal. So we'll get rid of this consumer. Executable, we'll just type in terminal. I'm on Mac. Same thing, we have to navigate to where our code is. You can do cd desktop, at least for me. I list everything. For me, it's stored under, I think it's called SAC State Coursework, which is right here. So I'll do cd SAC State Coursework if I didn't misspell anything. So I didn't. And then we're back to the folder. We can do cd csc /139 space 139 and then labs ls. So we're back to the listing of for programs. We could do GCC again, GCC, and then we'll call producer.c because that's what we wanted to compile is it -o, which is an output flag, and then whatever we want to call it, we'll call it producer. Producer is going to be the name of the executable. Once we run this, same thing. It makes the producer executable. We're going to do GCC consumer.c, and then we'll call it consumer. Oh, I don't think I spelled that right. Oh, I forgot the -o, which is the output. So we'll do -o consumer. Okay, so they're both compiled, consumer and then producer, and then we'll call / to execute the producer, Remember, we have to pass in 3 arguments. We'll do 20 for buffer size, 34 for item count, and then 1, 2, 3 for whatever, for the random seed. And that's how you run it. And that's pretty much it. Hopefully this helped in any way.